Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen News Extra. I want to do this weekly extra news show targeting the community, some other bits and shows that sometimes have questions and answers in, some cool stuff that I've seen for Star Citizen, events, and basically anything and everything else that doesn't go into my weekend news, because I've got a little formula that I do for that. Links to everything and further instructions and details and codes and all that sort of jazz in the description below for pretty much everything we discuss here. There's a free fly week going on at the moment, so between now and the 20th of February, there is a Star Citizen Freeflight event on. Go to robertspaceindustriescom/promotions/valentines-free-fly-2017, or go to the link that's probably in the description and enter the code, all in caps, share the love. You will receive a Constellation Andromeda to test for the duration of the free flight. It will get you access to Star Marine, the Persistent Universe, Arena Commander, and you can add it to your account even if you do have access already, or whatever, to just try out the Constellation. There is also a sale until the 28th of February with some discount ship packages too. Check that out. And we'll go more into that on the weekend as well. I'll have a little look and analyse the packages there. Quantum questions. On the quantum questions this week, there was a hint at the Aegis Eclipse being worked on, and I suspect that this will be the next concept after the Hurricane. The exact quote from Jake Ross was in regards to his favourite ship: "It's a tie between the Dragonfly and another ship that hasn't been announced yet, so I'm sorry to keep you in the dark." Obviously, Dark Eclipse, I mean, it might be a little bit too... I think it's the Eclipse. Also, there was a mention of the in-game economy there as well. The pricing algorithm is nailed down, and this should all be coming with 3.0. They are pricing items as we speak. The first 20 commodities are fully defined now. Everything from diamonds to liquor to processed food to plutonium. Cockpit interaction sequences are also being worked on. This is going to allow us to choose what systems to turn on when booting up a ship and give us a lot more control and interactivity with our ships when we're sitting in the cockpits. Ben's Day 71 with Batgirl had some quite interesting tangible information in as well. Check that out. Batgirl does some pretty good critical reviews on the game and great interviews with Sandy and Ben quite regularly. There was some brief talk about the Hurricane. Ben didn't correct Nikki when she said it was an older ship, so I'm still suspecting that it is an older heavy fighter. That makes sense to me with the lineup of ships that they currently have. There is a difference between docking via landing and the Voltron tech, and the Voltron tech is how snubs dock with their parents, or the command modules, the bridges, connect with the Endeavour or the Caterpillar. It's that kind of connecting and becoming enveloped by it. The colony, outpost and construction ships are being thought about as or at least discussed as possible solutions to base building over a longer time. They are looking at lots of different things for base building and stuff on planets at the moment. The wider active and passive scanning systems are being worked on too. It's a big system with no ETA currently. Item System 2.0, though, gives them greater flexibility to drop this and other features much more quickly and easily when they're ready in and out. Some older assets, like the old firing range and the hangar, lose function as they rip out the guts of the game. So with stuff like that, they might do something newer rather than reusing old assets. But Ben said within 6 to 12 months that you're not going to miss stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of tangible gameplay, I'm assuming he was implying there. The ship snatch page on the RSI website is being updated with more accurate stats, which has been well needed for a long time, and that has been making people's lives a lot more complicated than necessary. There is infinite possibilities with more variants for ships and modules for them in the future, but they want to get the ones that they've already planned in first. Modular hangars are still a thing, which will allow you to add sections, rooms, customize things, make it into a living space, make it look how you want, room system and stuff in there. That will be coming in the future. We're also going to see various player housing, hotels, living spaces, spawn points, like we have in Port Olisar, even if they're just a single room. Maybe you'll start just being able to rent rooms for respawn zones or whatever, and then kind of gear that up to having a fully large player house on Terra or something, but we don't entirely know yet. They are looking at new concept ships for Consolidated Outlands, the guys that make the Mustang, the manufacturers that make them, but they haven't confirmed anything yet. the PC Gamer weekend. So over the weekend, so this weekend, PC Gamer, are having a big gaming expo in the London Olympia. And on Saturday between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m, as well as on Sunday on 12 to 1 p.m, there will be Star Citizen's very own lead designer Luke Presley, system designer Will Madden, and Star Marine designer Sean Noonan. They are all going to be taking the dev stage there and talking about Star Citizen as a project and answering your questions. Tickets are still available for the entire event from around £13, and if you use the code PCGWVideo, all in caps, you will even get 20% off that ticket price and a free game. There are lots of different things to see there and do there. It's going to be a big gaming expo. And I suspect there'll be lots of drinking in the evening as well. And people almost always do mini bar citizens and stuff like that. Some maps. So I saw some pretty awesome maps. Lituen makes these cool maps for Star Citizen and Star Marine, and he's updated some of them for 2.6.1, as well as he's done a map for the Starfarer now as well. Check them out, link in the description below. I hope he makes many, many more of these. They're absolutely beautiful. There was also a very cool map of Yella, and it's surrounding asteroid field with marked locations made by Elijah Rockseeker from the UEMC org. Again, link in the description there. Absolutely fantastic. I love seeing stuff like this, especially stuff that is usable and helpful to new players. A couple of not-so-Star Citizen-y things now. Hellion. I wanted to talk about that game. I'm a little bit curious about it. Hellion is a first-person multiplayer space survival game with lots of elements of Star Citizen. It's coming to early access release on the 24th of February on Steam. It's a fusion of survival and space simulation genres that pits players against the deadly environment as well as one another. You want to survive the hard vacuum, extreme temperatures, deadly radiation, scavenge for basic resources like air, water, food, and other items necessary for survival. There's going to be a lot of exploration, station building for your bases. You're going to be able to You need to repair your systems constantly. You're going to be flying around. You can do lots of stuff multiplayer. I love the idea of building your own space station together and having... I don't think there's any form of limit on that. There's going to be lots of salvaging, PvE, PvP, ship combat, boarding, lots of first-person shooter combat. It looks like Rust in space and also has a lot of Star Citizen-esque mechanics that have been implemented simply. It's going to be like a stripped-down 3.0 without planetary landings from a gameplay perspective anyway. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I'll be setting a server up for my community, for you guys, as well as the Redacted community as a whole, for us to all play on. If you want to check out more on that, go to playhellion.com for some more information, but might do a review of it or whatever in the future. Also, I wanted to briefly talk about Pimax 4K VR. I've looked at the Vive and Oculus for VR, as well as lots of other solutions. I saw this Pimax VR thing. It's one of those super cheap headsets for around like $250 to $300. And it's got really great specs on paper, but it's one of these very cheap Chinese-y rip-off ones. And it has its own problems. I think that with a bit of TLC and setup, I can actually probably get it working very well on a variety of games. It works with Vive games, apparently, and people have said you can get it to work perfectly with Oculus games. And I think I can bodge it to work with Star Citizen as well. I like Thriftbot solutions and getting stuff like value added, so hopefully I'll be able to put together a video guide and that sort of stuff as soon as that headset comes through, and we'll talk more about it then. It might be trash. I think we can get something gold out of it, though. And that's kind of it for the Star Citizen extra news thing that I did today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions on Star Citizen or Squadron 42, feel free to drop them in the comments below, as well as anything cool that you've seen about Star Citizen in the community that I might not have seen, or something that you've just gone, that's so cool, look at this map. I've made my own version of a schedule report too for Star Citizen with Star Citizens and Squadron 42 patches, timelines, when ships are planned to be coming out, what other concept ships we might see, and guesstimate dates and stuff like that, all based on information that CIG have given, and some based on my own kind of guesstimates and stuff. So please check that out. I do think that will be very useful. But commenting each month could you win you a ship. For this month of February, it's an Avenger Titan, so make sure you comment. Check out all the links in the description, and for those of you wishing to go the extra mile, there is Patreon, there is GameWisp, that you can back me on. That would be super appreciated. You guys are fucking amazing, but to be honest, just watching and sharing and stuff is amazing in itself. And I even occasionally stream on twitch.tv/Boredgamer UK, so go check that out. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really does help me, and I will see you in the verse.